and deserted, choking on my own venom. But I don't deserve your pity, so don't pity me. I died by my own hand, as befits a murderess. The cover-up. It's the dawn of the 20th century, and in Samsun, Turkey, a silent crime occurs. A woman's past is bluntly erased, and so will remain unknown for more than a century. But the fate of this people, my son's people, is written with sacrifices and crimes, a palimpsest of hate. Her name is Sarah, and at the age of 25, poor and unmarried, she's already doomed to spinsterhood. Who would ever marry a Jewess with hair as red as the beard of Judas and without so much as knickers on her arse? And yet, against all odds, Dimitros Konstantinidis does. An unsuccessful textile merchant, orphaned and thus free of judgmental parents. However, in order to reconcile himself with the fact of wedding a woman who's a year older than him and a descendant of Christ killers into the bargain, he asks, or rather demands, men really asked for things in those days, that Sarah forswear her true name and lineage. He might not be rich, but he's a good Christian who crosses himself and fasts during Lent, at least in public. And if he's to have a family with her, he won't tolerate her raising his children, sons that is, to be Christ killers. And so, without further ado, he renames his bride Gadina, takes her by the hand and marries her in front of a handful of people in a remote, tiny church. A married woman now with a roof over her head, Sarah soon turns into Gadina at heart and churns out Dimitros' brood. Although all three children are girls, following one another like stabs in his heart. Irini, Ariadne, and Fodini. And as if that weren't bad enough, their being dowry-demanding wenches, the wretched things look as different from one another as if they were spawned by the 12 tribes. Irini blonde and blue-eyed, Ariadne swarthy as a gypsy, and Fodini red-headed and freckled like her mother. And yet, thanks to Gadina's thrifty housekeeping, her unnameable origin had its benefits after all. And industrious Dimitros working night and day so that his daughters want for nothing, their wealth grows steadily, and at the beginning of the 1920s, the Konstantinidis pack is practically well off. The girls at a good school with piano lessons and foreign languages, meat on the table every day, and thanks be to God. And then the Asia Minor catastrophe happens, and they suddenly find themselves in upper town Thessaloniki without 2 pennies to rub together. Gentleman and businessman Dimitros is overnight a spawn of the Turk, and young Irini, who used to be on the top of her class, is suddenly cast amongst smart Greek girls who look down on her and whisper behind her back. Her family lives in a shack. Can you imagine? This shack will haunt Irini for the rest of her days. She, who wanted to be a doctor when she grew up, now crouches by the hearth to warm her freezing hands, while in the pot her dinner of boiled potatoes seethes like her smarting pride. What's for dinner tonight, sis? Bread and teeth to chew it with. Moreover, she has to cook for the little ones because, as if things weren't bad enough, their mother died just after they emigrated. They took her away in the public horse-drawn cart. Irini, my mother, quenches her hunger with dreams, while her 2 younger sisters live in their own private worlds. Literally. Although they won't be diagnosed for decades, Fodini, the youngest, suffers from a mild form of mental retardation, while Ariadne, she of the green eyes and the raven black hair, a beauty sought after by prospective husbands ever since she was 12, has begun to exhibit the early signs of the paranoid schizophrenia that will plague her till the end of her life. A lot of hereditary illness in my family, a heavy legacy, as if that first crime, the rebaptizing